When you're homebrewing, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more relaxed. You're probably drinking a couple of beers, and after, maybe one too many, you start thinking like, I could sell this stuff.
After having a few beers back in 2012, Matt Fuller, Vince Kane, and Zach Barnes had a wild idea of starting their own brewery.
Went forward and said, is this possible? And frankly, we were never told no.
After polishing their brewing skills at home for the better part of a year, the guys decided to start their own business and tap into their potential.
Being young and headstrong, it was a lot of fun to learn along the way what we didn't know. We kind of came into it with the attitude that if you work hard enough and you research enough and you kind of ask enough questions, you'll be able to kind of figure anything out. That turned out to be largely true.
Fast forward 2 years, and they're now producing roughly 5,000 gallons of beer per year at their location on Bardstown Road, with an eye towards a full-bodied future.
We really want to be able to reach out and put that product in other marketplaces, but really focusing on like Louisville and then the state of Kentucky, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
The beer, of course, is outstanding, but the environment here, the people, the community that we've built over 2 years, it's unparalleled.
After living near the Pope Lick Trestle his whole life, Ron Crouch says he's no stranger to the local legend.
The myth is you have to walk on the bridge to see the Goat Man.
He says for years the legend has kept people flocking to the area, but he's never understood what all the fuss was about.
The only thing I see is a few deer every once in a while, and I wouldn't confuse those with a goat.
To try and improve safety in the area, some signage was put up along with this fencing, which has been padlocked shut. But that hasn't kept people from sliding through the gate, going out on the tracks, and breaking the law.
People might say, well, if they hadn't gone here, if they hadn't gone there, well, you just don't know, and you can't live your life that way. But when there are clearly signs that state, maybe private property, no trespassing, there's a reason for it.
As the owner of Waverly Hill, Tina Mattingly was supposed to be giving Bain a tour of the sanatorium the night of her death. Mattingly now hopes that other paranormal investigators will think twice before taking a risk with their lives.
I'm very upset over it. It's very sad, and it's I really wish it hadn't happened. It's just not worth it.
I was a bad person. I used to, steal and all that kind of stuff.
LaRon Tunsil Jr., a.k.a. Ron, is the first to admit he hasn't always been the best kid. But he's fed up by what's been happening in his hometown.
It's been like a whole lot of shooting, like a lot of black people gambling, shooting, and just stealing and breaking into people's houses, and we just want peace in the community.
He spent his Labor Day here at 27th and Broadway feeding the homeless. That's where he came across this man.
I didn't know that, it's a real struggle out here, It's a real struggle. So I sat down, I was talking to the dude, and he was like, he told me a story. So I started crying because, it's painful to hear that.
That's when Ron did the unthinkable.
Man, how does that make you feel, somebody giving their shoes off their feet? That's what real is.
I just gave my shoes, I seen his shoes was out, toes was out. So I said, her, unlaced them in front of him. Took him off, said, her, take these then.
I seen him on the Facebook and he was giving away his shoes and I was like, what? But it was for a good cause and to help someone, and I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe that to come back to him.
That was real of him to do that.
Ron may never know what happened to the stranger or his shoes, but he left the man with this message.
I told him, you can do whatever with the shoes, but just know that you got a family. It's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter what they do with it, as long as they know that, wow, it is somebody that really cares for me out here.
It's crazy how one person and another person can be completely different.
A small step that could make a big difference in someone's life. In Louisville, Holden Kurwicki, WHAS 11 News. If you've ever driven down 40th Street in West Louisville, you've probably noticed the decorations outside of this house.
They understand what it means, what Veterans Day is, and it means a lot to my mother and my father.
As a way to honor their loved ones in the military, 20 years ago, Dorothy and Kenneth Stevenson started by planting a single flag. But over the years, their tribute has grown so large, the entire community now comes out to say thanks.
It's a full day, it's a family affair is what it is. We come out, my mother fixes hot chocolate or chili, and we We set flags there, like a small family reunion.
The kids love it, I love it, my cousins love it.
People stop, they thank you, they understand, they really understand. Veterans come by, they blow, they stop, we talk. Yeah, it's very interesting stories.
However, the Stevensons don't just show their patriotism with their decorations. They spread it throughout the community to kids like Amiria Jessup.
For me, it means like we all have one part of say in our life.
They come by and they pick one up. And like we're sitting here now, somebody come by, can I have a flag? Sure, sure.
Freedom is freedom to us, and it's actually just cool to me.
As Stevenson's parents climb in age, he has vowed to help them keep their tradition and their tribute growing each year.
And it's important, it means a lot. A lot of people have lost a lot behind those stars and stripes. So we have to keep it going.
While the city has grown up around it, not much has changed in the Russell neighborhood in years.
Russell used to be one of the most vibrant neighborhoods in the city.
However, if you listen closely, you can hear the sounds of progress.
We want to provide opportunities for people to fulfill their dreams.
After working with the city to purchase this property, Community Ventures Corp is cleaning it up and has plans to build new homes here for the first time in a decade.
We want to add values to the families that live here, and we want to bring new families here, or we want to bring families back, and families who don't own a home, we want them to feel a part of ownership into this particular community.
For longtime Louisville residents like Markham French, that means realizing the goal of home ownership for the first time.
I ride down the street about three times a week just looking at this lot. I just cannot wait to see it, the house built.
By cutting down the brush and cleaning up the trash, every day French is closer to seeing his old neighborhood breathe new life.
Russell is already vibrant. We're just trying to add to it.
We can get the housing development going, the economic development going. This neighborhood could be brought back to life. It'll be a nice, positive shot in the arm.
As brick by brick is added, French knows it's only a matter of time before he is handed the keys to a place of his own.
I just hope I don't pass out.